Well, here we
Okay,
go. Alex, you got your computer to work.
finally.
Yeah, well, good to see you. And from the looks of it, you have been some busy lady.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. We've had the right conditions, so we've been running dogs, running dogs.
So not like last year where you had to contend with rain and stuff for a long time. This
Yeah,
is a much better season for you.
yeah, much better. We had some ice early on, kind of that transition from fall to snow, and so we did have like 10 days period there where we were knocked off of training, but it's been pretty consistent since then. A few days here, a few days there, just to try to get the best conditions. But yeah, it has nothing to complain about for sure.
So how many million miles have you put on your snow machine to groom?
So many. We actually, this was the first year we've trained as far as we have at our home trail. Usually we only go up to like 20 miles tops there, and this year we put some extensions in and ran around in circles some to get 24 miles. So we were able to train at home for a bit longer, which was nice. It's just a little easier. You don't have all that extra travel time. And then once the holidays and everything start ramping up and the trail starts getting busier, it's just too hard for us to groom. The state starts grooming, but it's not super consistent, and they don't groom those extensions. So we hit the road and go train in Alpine, and then we actually did some training over in West Yellowstone as well.
Boy, that sounds busy. I'm just getting dizzy listening to it. How many dogs are you traveling with?
We are traveling with 25 dogs right now,
Oh
but
wow.
we're 18 are in contention for stage top.
Oh, wow, that's still a pretty good sized group there. So
Yeah.
how many from the last years do you have, and how many new ones?
Um, I think there's about 7 or 6 from last year, and the rest are 2-year-olds. So quite a young team, a lot of inexperienced dogs, but they've been running great. Some of them traveled with me to Alaska last year, so they have a bit of truck experience, and a few of them even ran the first day of the Open North American, so they have a little race experience. So feeling pretty good about them.
That sounds like a pretty spunky team, like having some fun out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, how many times have you been running now? I just looked up the last 5 years, and you have never been lower than top six.
Yeah, I my first time running it was in 2014 with Bill Cormuller's dogs, and then it was a couple years between that. I think the next time I ran it was uh 17, maybe 18.
Yeah, in
And
18 you came in fourth, in 19 third, in 20
yeah.
third. So you've always been right up there.
Yeah, we work hard at it and want to compete with the best of the best. So that's why we show up.
So how's Frank doing?
Frank is doing good. He's busy with the tour kennel. Being the boss. So yeah, he's doing good though.
Does he ever sometimes come out with you on a training run, or like travel with you anywhere, or he's like, no, here you go.
Yeah, no, he kind of just stays out of my way and lets me do what I'm doing. So that's pretty nice in a way. But yeah, he's very busy. Actually, he's scheduling things right now so that he can get away during stage top to come to some of the stages. So
Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Well, hopefully he brings his snow machine, then I maybe can catch a ride here and there. So are you already training down? Have you already peaked out in the training?
yeah, we finished up our what I was thinking was going to be our last long run last week in West Yellowstone, and the dogs did super. Everybody was happy and healthy afterwards. Now we're home. I've never really finished the long mileages this early, so I've been kind of asking for advice from a few different people, and I think I'm going to try to do one more kind of not super long, but somewhere in the 25 to 30 mile range next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's always a tricky thing, of yeah, how long to go, how late to go. It's, risking any injuries or not. I always struggled with that myself a little bit at the time.
Yeah, I feel like once I get through kind of the plan, and then it's like, okay, well, how much time between now and the start of the race, and what do I do with that time? Like, is it meant to speed them up? I don't know. Do I play it safe and just, keep them stretched out? Like, it's really hard for me to understand the the point of this period of training? Like, what is my goal for this next 2.5 weeks? So it's a little confusing for sure.
Well, and it might be different every year, you know. Like this year, you seem to like where you already sit for miles and you don't feel the urge to put on long miles. But in other years, it might have looked completely different.
Right. So like usually we're finishing up those longer runs away, you know, like a week later or a week and a half later, even really close to the start of the race. So it's easy to say, okay, now we just dial back the miles, we keep everybody safe, we just kind of take it easy and have fun, and then we show up to race. At this point, it's like, okay, I'm gonna look at 3 weeks without having had a long run before the start of the race. So that kind of makes me nervous a little bit. So I think the plan is to just do the long run, but keep it safe, keep it at a pace that is totally controlled and easy for them, and kind of just take them for a stroll.
So what about the stages coming up, you know, starting in Teton County again and then Pinedale? What do you think about that compared to some other years where Alpine was the first year? Does that make any first trail? Does it make any difference to you?
I think so, but maybe not for the reason you would guess. I always hated that Alpine turned out on a Saturday because I trained there and I refuse to train there on the weekend or on any holidays because there's thousands of snow machines that go out that trail. They use it kind of as a main road or highway to get to all the fun playgrounds. And so it just can be kind of, you know, scary and busy and hard on the dogs' heads to go by them 10,000 times, and especially during the race. So I think I'm really happy that it's no longer at Alpine on Saturday. But as far as the order of the stages, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to make a plan with this race, and you think you know something, and every day something is changing, and you just kind of got to roll with it. I think that's kind of the whole stage stop thing, man. You just got to keep rolling with whatever comes at you.
Yeah, I remember my first year there when I snow machine out on the Alpine Trail, not really knowing what I got myself into. And the snow machines, I was like, oh my God, that's more than
Yeah,
a
it's
year
crazy.
I saw in a day. And I was like, wow, and that's right during the race.
Yeah, we trained there a few weeks ago, and it was a Friday, I think, and we got back to the truck because we get there before daylight and hook up in the dark and take off almost in the dark. Like we're on the trail at sunrise. And so we get back to the truck, say 9-10 o'clock, and I mean it was just like every 2 seconds another line of snow machines was going by. I was like, well, I'm glad we're finished. Let's load it up and let's get out of here.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. Have you gotten word about the snow conditions in like Big Piney, which sometimes can be a little on the low side?
I haven't. I know that there's been a lot of snow everywhere here, but there's also been some weird conditions. For example, it rained in Alpine a few weeks ago. It, you know, didn't destroy the snowpack or anything like that. They groom there so regularly that the trail is like really well set in. So I don't know exactly what's going on over in Big Piney. I actually have a school presentation to do there on Thursday, so I'll maybe be able to ask around and find out some stuff. I don't know anything about Pinedale. I usually try to train there at least once in the season, but I can't find anything out about the grooming. So I was just like, I'm not going to drive an hour and a half down there and just to see what's up. So I'm in the dark as anybody else except for Alpine. I know that it's good everywhere else. I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay. Who would you like to thank?
Of course I got to thank Frank Teasley and the kennel up at JHI, all the crew there and everybody that keeps the lights on and the wheels turning while I'm on the road. My husband Sam for putting up with me and my hours and hours and hours of working and not doing housework and laundry and dishes and all of that stuff. So my parents who are coming out again this year, and my sister who's going to come along, and she's my dog masseuse and people masseuse. She just moved out here and got a job as a physical therapist. So I was like, you're going to take a week off for stage stop. We need you. And then Jess Moore, my handler, she's going to come and wax for me. And I have a new handler this year named Doug, and he's going to be coming along too. So we have a whole crew, and I just want to thank all those guys for putting their life on hold for 8-9 days to come out and help me do this crazy thing.
That's pretty awesome.